Sushi is easily one of my favorite civs to play in Season 12 right now. And for one reason, versatility. With the recent changes to Proscouts, Sushi players suddenly have to look for other options to win the game, besides blindly Proscouting. And today, I'm breaking down 3 different opening builds to help you handle any situation on the ladder. We cover everything from the amazing fast castle that's unique to Sushi, to greedy booming with 2TC, and of course, the standard Proscouts opening. These are your blueprints, master these, and you'll have the tools to dictate every match. Let's get started. Just as a quick note, there are timestamps for all the build orders in the description below. Enjoy. Alright, we're in game. And now I'm gonna show you the fast castle that's unique to Sushi. Unique because oftentimes you reach castle age over 1 minute earlier than your opponent, and it's really annoying to play against. So, it's a standard map, Dry Arabia, it's a bot game, and I'm gonna show you. Immediately when we spawn, we're gonna grab all our villagers and place them on the berries with a mill. Of course, don't forget your cheeps, supervise it, grab your scout, and walk a little bit outside of your base to grab a lot of sheep. First 2 villagers are gonna go straight to gold, with the second villager building the village. With the recent changes in Season 12, suddenly we don't have to chop any wood anymore for like a village. Because if you realize it, suddenly it doesn't cost 125 wood anymore, it's just 100 wood. That makes the special fast castle build even stronger in Season 12. Oftentimes you reach castle age even like 15 to 20 seconds earlier compared to before. And it was already really fast, if you've played against it before. Okay. With Sushi we don't want to scout that far or like go that far on the map, because we want a pretty good position for our meditation garden. Okay, with 2 villagers on gold, the next villagers all go to food. Spread them out a little bit. They all go to food now. You can already hotkey 1 villager because we want to like put 1 villager on 1 hotkey to make it easier. Because we want to build the meditation garden with only 1 villager. We don't need to reach feudal age that fast. Okay. And don't forget to click on the mill and to have an eye on the tax gold. It's really important to always grab your taxes. 40 is the max, in case you forgot it. The max for your period official to grab. Okay, we're gonna bring the sheet back. And with the fast castle build, we don't want to work that far with our villager to build a landmark. So we're gonna drop them all off here. And we're gonna build it right here. And we're gonna drop off again. So. Pretty easy, right? Once we have like 10 villagers on food, we're gonna send the next 3 villagers to gold. Because we want to have 5 total on food, on gold. You can already like shift click them back to a sheep. Okay. Now we have 10 on sheep. We're gonna send the next 3 villagers to gold. And remember, you can't, or it's really tricky to play this build against like French or English if they go with like the usual longbowman rush. Because placing your mill on the berries makes you really vulnerable to the feudal aggression. So be careful on when to pick this, when you pick this build order. Doesn't work against everyone. So, gonna have an eye on the mill. It's already 50. We're gonna post drop them. Oh, did I find? Yeah. Collect it, send them back. Once we have 5 on gold, we're gonna send them back to gold, to sheep. You can already like grab like 8 villagers on 1 hotkey because we want to age up to castle with 8. And remember to bring your sheep back. Because you always kind of want to scout what your opponent is doing. In this case, I'm not doing it really good because it's just against AI. You kind of want to see what he's doing. Is he actually opening with like a stable or etc.? So. And grab more taxes. Okay. And remember with Sushi, if you don't go Song Dynasty directly and Feudal Age, all your age ups are cheaper. So if you're not used to it, keep it in mind. Everything is cheaper with the first Dynasty. And we are close to aging up, and we're going to drop off, and we're going to age up with the Shaolin Monastery. And now that we are in the process of aging up, we're going to send some villagers to it. So we can either go with like the standard stable opening to immediately spend knights and collect relics. But I also like to cheese with a barracks and then spamming palace guards. Because the palace guards have a speed bonus faster than your usual men-at-arms and make it easier to raid. I'm going to send them back. Can also send a few on the berries. That's why we place it on the berries, so we can immediately go there. Don't have to build a second mill or etc. And once you have enough food, it's 200 for the monks. Immediately start collecting relics. And as you can see, or as you saw, usually with like dropping the 50 wood that we normally shop at the beginning of the match, we can reach Castle 8 at like 540 in the game. That's like the usual timer with this build, which is pretty fast. Okay, once you have a few villagers on wood, we can now immediately drop a stable, go for a second Imperial Official to boost that production. So, and yeah, that's it with this build. Now we can just grab all the relics, spam knights. We can boost with the second Imperial Official, boost the stable to boost this to them even faster. 3 monks are already enough, you don't need to produce any more. Got gold here. Yeah. And now you're kinda in a winning position. Usually at this stage your opponent will reach Castle Age if you also rush his castle. But by this point you will already have like 2-3 relics secured. Yeah. Let's go to the next build. Now I'm gonna show you Proscouts. This standard Zushi build that everyone has been seeing for the last few months. Okay, immediately sheep's there, supervise it. Gonna send one more there for a total of 6. And our scout is the duty to collect a lot of sheep. So the next 2 villagers I'm gonna go on gold. So we have a 6-2 split. And the first villager is gonna build the village. Just like this. Remember, building your village like next to your gold vein also acts like kind of like a tower, because your villagers can garrison in it. So it also offers a little bit of protection. But build it inside of your TC range, because it's quite easy to torch down. Okay, next villager to sheep for a total of 7. Remember, keep an eye out on the mill for the taxes. Once we have 7, we're gonna send one more to gold. Keep an eye out on the mill. Taxes are really the game changer in early game. And then once we have 3 on gold, we're just gonna send all the rest to sheep. And remember, scout it around your base to see where you can place a pretty sick meditation garden. Okay. Oh, we have something here. And we're gonna... Oh, something else here. Let's go with that one. Okay. Edging up. I'm gonna send one more to gold for 4. And we need to ready people to what now? And once the H-up is complete, because with Sushi and China, all your villagers build faster, so you're gonna H-up faster if you go with like the usual 3 villagers or 4 than your opponent. Pretty fast H-up, and we're gonna immediately send them to strike retreat. We want to collect now, or chop 50 wood and immediately drop a lumber camp, and then supervise it with our official. That's done, and immediately build a lumber camp. Because remember, with Sushi and China, every time your villager drops resources off at like your eco buildings, a mill, a lumber camp, a mining camp, you generate taxes. Once we have line on wood, we're gonna ready the next one to sheep, because when you wanna build scouts and open with like a horseman. And remember, we can build a second IO. So we can boost our stable and our Proscouts. We want to keep our first Imperial official on wood here, so we can immediately spam a stable and go with like produce a few horsemen to go on the map, put a little bit of pressure on our opponent. And the second Imperial official is gonna boost that one. That's why we want to immediately build our second official once we have like all the resources for professional scouts. Once we have enough wood, immediately drop it, drop a stable, and we can switch now. Collected gold, boosted. Gonna open with 1 horseman, just to put a little bit of pressure on our opponent, and then we're gonna spam scouts to collect all the deer. And now we can just collect all the deer on our base. I still like to... I mean, I recently released a video where I said Proscouts is dead, but Proscouts is dead on like all the long or like big maps, I feel like. But on closed maps, Proscouts is still pretty nice, just because you don't lose as much food as you would on bigger maps. That's why I don't, or you can't play it, I feel like, in team games anymore. Or like in the bigger team games, 4v4, etc. Alright, and remember, research survival techniques. Alright. This is the Proscout build. Now you're just gonna spam up to like 7 scouts, not too many, remember. And as you can see, we already have almost enough gold for like an age up. Or like for the castle age up. And once we have our deer dropped off, remember to switch it. Or like send your villagers on it. And remember, collect the taxes with that one guy. Once you have enough horsemen, or scouts, I mean. Yeah. And with this you're gonna get a pretty nice castle timing. Because we are forcing our opponent to either build a tower on his gold, or produce a few spearmen to defend our lone horsemen. But with this pretty sick timing that we're gonna reach, we can immediately spam knights and go on the offensive. Alright, let's go to the last build order. And now I'm going to show you my favorite sushi build, the 2TC song or fast song 2TC build. Which in some specific matchups, like you can't play it against, for example, against French, it's really difficult to get a good timings. But nonetheless, I still play it in every matchup, and I feel like I'm always in a winning position at some point. So, with this build order, we are gonna chop our first tree. And we are immediately placing our mill next to RTC, supervise it so we get 10 more wood in total. Our first villager that we're gonna produce is immediately building the village next to RTC, and then also jumping on the sheep. We're gonna send 7 total on sheep, and the next 4 villagers are going on to the gold. Remember, if you play 2TC song, it's really important to scout your opponent to see if he's opening with a barracks or not. Because if he's opening with a barracks, we kind of wanna either like immediately chop more wood to build a tower next to our gold, because oftentimes opponents on all that won't build a tower rush you. Like, it's not the norm anymore. So if you place a tower, they will just produce 1 or 2 spearmen, and then you're kind of safe. Remember, just like with the games before, kind of want to go back early just to see where you can place your meditation garden. It's still the same map as last game with the Proscout build. They haven't changed it, but kind of want to show you how I usually play with it. Okay. Remember, keep an eye out on a mill. Taxes are important in the early game, because once you have like all your imperial officials on the field, you can always have like one guy collecting the tax gold, and then it doesn't matter anymore. Once we have 4 on the gold, we're gonna send all the next villagers to sheep. We're gonna grab 2 because we wanna age up with 2. Can already go outside on the map to our spot where we're gonna build it. Build it just like last game. Okay. Once we have 7 on sheep, we can put them also in a hotkey, so it's easier to like grab immediately 7. Because with these guys, once we have enough food for the Jiangnang Tower, our second feudal landmark, we're gonna send 7 on to the stone. Also, keep an eye out on the gold vein here. Once it's at 790, right now, we're gonna send them onto our straggler trees. Because we're just gonna grab 40 gold, or the remaining 40 gold from our mill. Because taxes are broken. Grab it, collect it, easy. Now we already have enough gold for the second age landmark. And these guys are also building the second landmark. So we can already shift click them to the position where we wanna build it. Okay. And with Sushi, it's kind of different compared to China, because a lot of your landmarks are not tax drop-offs. So you're kind of forced in the endgame when you have like a giant base. Oftentimes your imperial officials are getting stuck. Because if there's not like a tax drop-off nearby, they will just AFK. So we're gonna build our Jiangnang Tower in the position where we want to place our granaries. So in this case I want to place my granaries here, and so our imperial official in the late game can immediately like drop off taxes, etc., and like stay in this area. It's really important with Sushi, because I feel like you only have like 2 or 3 drop-offs for like taxes and UTC, but that's about it. Once we send all our 7 villagers on the stone, we're gonna have 4 on sheep, and the remaining are gonna be placed on the stractor trees around our base. You can already like shift click these 2 guys onto sheep again once they finish the second landmark, and we're in the Song Dynasty. And remember, it's different compared to China. Song Dynasty makes everything cheaper, like economy and population buildings. So we don't need as much wood to construct our second TC. And we have it even over-collected a little bit. And we're gonna place it there, collect the taxes, and build a second IO. We want to place our 2 TCs together, kinda. We don't want to place it on a woodline, because we want our villagers to drop or produce taxes, right? Can already set a ready point here, because with the Jiangnang Tower, every time you build like a town center, a barracks, archer range, or stable, you get a free unit. That's why you already want to have it ready there. See, immediately a villager. These guys are going on sheep. And immediately produce villagers. And now with our 2 officials, we're gonna supervise our sheep and our wood. Once we have like 15, 16 on the sheep, in this case I'm with 15, I like to send all my villagers on wood to immediately build production, build like a tower on gold, etc. Like to open with a stable. I'm gonna show you like a cheeky trick here. I'm gonna force drop them off and supervise it, because with the stable supervised, or like with the stable build, the Song Dynasty already activated, gonna get a 3 horsemen, and now we immediately have 2 on the field and can harass our opponent. Pretty nice. Really like to go this build because it's like every matchup right now. So I feel like it has a little counters. Let's just say that. Yeah, this is my favorite or like standard 2TC build right now. Getting like the second TC up at like minute 6 minutes 5 seconds at the latest. And now, if you want to play like a long feudal age, you don't have to move out on the map. You can already like build granaries right outside your base. And remember, if you're gonna build granaries or add them in the feudal age or like early castle age, immediately produce another imperial official to supervise it. The supervision makes it so much better than just adding like or building like all the granaries already in feudal age. You can stack like a ton of farms like in the double layer around your granary in feudal age and supervise it, and you're gonna get like almost 2k food per minute, which is pretty sick. So you're not really forced to go out on the map that much. Alright. So if you've like enjoyed these build orders, dominate the ladder first. Master these, they're like pretty fun to play. Sushi is like one of my favorite civs just because of the versatility. You can do so much. It has a pretty strong late game economy. It's like almost unmatched, I feel like. It has pretty sick units in the late game that are pretty strong. Yuzugunus are like kind of dominate once you have all the upgrades and the last dynasty activated. Alright, that's it from me, folks. Thanks for watching. If these build orders helped you out dominating the ladder, or maybe you've learned something new today, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. Wish you all happy holidays, have a great Christmas season, and a happy new year. Cheers.